last lecture we have completed the structure of ovary and related points to the internal genitalia of the female reproductive system, that is ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus and vagina. In today's lecture, the next point related to this ovary, that is we have to study the histology of ovary, that means the TS of ovary. When we take transverse section of ovary, what points we have observing, those points we have to study in this histology. So here the developmental stages, different developmental stages are observing during observation of this TS of ovary or the histology of ovary. So here these changes in the ovary are cyclic and occurring during each menstrual cycle. Means when we take a section of ovary, we see different developmental changes in that ovary, and these developmental changes are occurring in the ovary due to the menstrual cycle, and the different developmental changes here, that is the maturation of primordial follicle into secondary, tertiary and Graafian follicle. So when we take the section of this TS of ovary, we observe some primordial follicle, some secondary follicle and some tertiary follicle which are becoming mature Graafian follicle, and hence the different developmental changes we are observing in this section. When each primary follicle has multi-layered cuboidal follicular cells. Out of that, each primary follicle or primordial follicle, it is multi-layered and cuboidal follicular cell structure. The stroma of the cells add around the primordial follicle a layer which is called as a theca. Means the stroma cells which are present in the ovary, these stroma cells are forming a theca layer or theca cover around this primary follicle, and then these primary follicles are converted into secondary follicles. Then the growth of this oocyte is growing on, and there is increase in number of the granulosa cells around the primordial follicle or around the secondary follicle. So there are different developmental changes as we observe in this TS of ovary section in the diagrammatic representation. This is the ovary, TS of ovary shown diagrammatically. So these are the primordial follicles. As you see here, this is known as primordial follicle, this is blood vessel, and these primordial follicles are, some primordial follicles are converted into primary follicle. Then this primary follicle is converted into secondary follicle when the stroma cells means this middle portion of this ovary is having stroma. These stroma cells are secreting some theca layer around this follicle, and primary follicle is getting converted into secondary follicle. Again, after some days, this secondary follicle is converted into tertiary follicle, and tertiary follicle is converted into mature follicle, and this is the Graafian follicle. So when we take section of this ovary, we are observing some primordial follicle, then primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle and mature Graafian follicle. And when the Graafian follicle ruptures, it releases ovary, and that process is called as ovulation. Here this is a ruptured Graafian follicle, ovum is coming outside the ovary, ovulated ovum. So this is the empty Graafian follicle, and that empty Graafian follicle is here converted into a yellow structure, and that yellow structure here is called as a corpus luteum. This corpus luteum is secreting progesterone hormone, which is responsible for maintenance of pregnancy. If the ovum, when coming outside the ovary and when it is going to be fertilized by the sperm, the zygote is formed and the embryo is formed. For the development of that embryo, that is for the development of this pregnancy period, progesterone hormone is playing very important role, and that progesterone is secreted by this corpus luteum. And when there is no pregnancy, means suppose ovum is released from the ovary, but there is no fertilization, no sperm entry takes place in the female genital tract, no fertilization, no development of zygote, no embryo, no pregnancy. At that time, what happens, you see here, this corpus luteum is converted into a white scar-like structure. You can observe here a white scar-like structure, and this is called as a corpus albicans. It is not secreting any hormone, it is just only a scar. Scar म्हणजे जसं एखादं व्रण म्हणतो आपण, एखाद्या ठिकाणी आपल्याला जखम झाली असेल, मार लागला असेल, तर काही दिवसानंतर तिथं काहीतरी खून राहते बघा, काहीतरी व्रण राहतो, तसं इथं आपल्याला व्हाईट कलरचा स्कार बघायला मिळतो. त्याला काय म्हणलेलं आहे, इथं कॉर्पस अल्बिकन्स म्हणलेलं आहे. सो when we take section of ovary, histology of ovary we have to study, then we have observing all these developmental stages in the ovary: primordial follicle, primary, secondary, tertiary, Graafian follicle. Sometimes you can observe empty Graafian follicle. This empty Graafian follicle is converted into corpus luteum. Corpus luteum is responsible for secretion of progesterone hormone, which is known as a pregnancy hormone, because it is responsible for maintaining the pregnancy. So progesterone is the pregnancy hormone which is secreted by this corpus luteum, and if there is no fertilization, no pregnancy, this corpus luteum is converted into corpus albicans. So all these structures are present in the ovary that we have to observe in the histology. So once again, coming to the point, the secondary follicles, they are forming the hormone estrogen, and the secondary follicle grows into Graafian follicle by addition of more follicular cells. Day by day, in every menstrual cycle, there is development of primary into secondary, secondary into tertiary, and tertiary into Graafian. These all changes are taking place per month during the menstrual cycle. So in the Graafian follicle, when it becomes mature, it releases ovum or egg during ovulation. Ovulation process is carried out and ovum or egg is released from the Graafian follicle, and this empty Graafian follicle changes into a temporary endocrine gland that is called as corpus luteum, which secretes progesterone. Means when this empty Graafian follicle converts into corpus luteum, it is a temporary endocrine gland. Corpus luteum is not present throughout the life or throughout the pregnancy. It is just for starting of the pregnancy it is present, and hence it is called as a temporary endocrine gland secreting progesterone. And when fertilization is not occurring, the corpus luteum is converted into a white scar called as a corpus albicans. So we have to remember here the different developmental changes which are taking place in the ovary during the menstrual cycle that we have completed. Now next point here is the structure of Graafian follicle. Separately, Graafian follicle structure, what different parts are shown in this Graafian follicle that we have to study. This Graafian follicle is a mature ovarian follicle. It is called as a mature ovarian follicle. It shows an eccentric secondary oocyte. Inside the Graafian follicle, we can observe a eccentric secondary oocyte. Secondary oocyte means the unfertilized ovum or unfertilized egg, that is called as a female gamete. It is not present in the center. It is present just away from the center, and therefore it is called as a eccentric secondary oocyte. Eccentric means away from the center, and it is surrounded by non-cellular layer that is called as a zona pellucida, which is secreted by vitelline membrane of the secondary oocyte. So we have to see in the diagram what is that structure. Now the outermost protective covering, fibrous covering, it is called as a theca externa, and inner cellular membrane it is called as a theca interna. These two layers are present around the Graafian follicle, and inner to theca interna the follicular cells form the membrana granulosa. So inner to theca interna another layer is formed that is called as a membrana granulosa, and from this membrana granulosa the cells differentiate into discus proligerus and the corona radiata cells. Means the membrana granulosa cells are getting divided into again two types of cells. That means they are showing differentiation between those two cells. First layer it is called as a discus proligerus and second layer is called as a corona radiata cells, and the oocyte and the surrounding granulosa cells are also called as cumulus ophorus. So here cumulus ophorus is the term which is used for this secondary oocyte which is surrounded by granulosa cells. This secondary oocyte surrounding this membrane granulosa, that structure is also called as cumulus ophorus, that we have to remember. Then in the Graafian follicle there is a fluid filled cavity which is called as an antrum, and that fluid is called as the antral fluid which is present in between the oocyte and the membrana granulosa, and it is filled with a fluid that is antral fluid. It is also called as a Necker follicule. The antral fluid is called as a Necker follicule. Now we have to see here in the diagram that the structure of the Graafian follicle. So you can observe here the Graafian follicle. The outermost layer of this Graafian follicle, it is known as a theca externa. The inner layer of this Graafian follicle, this is the outer darkly spotted and inner it is faintly spotted. So this inner layer is called as a theca interna, and inside the Graafian follicle the secondary oocyte is present. You can see here this oocyte is not present in the center but it is present away from the center, and therefore it is called as eccentric secondary oocyte. Away from the center this is present, and hence it is called as eccentric secondary oocyte. And this oocyte, it is surrounded by these granulosa cells. You can observe here these yellowish orange colored cells. These cells are called as granulosa cells, membrana granulosa, and these are secreting here the non-cellular layer around the secondary oocyte, and that layer is called as a zona pellucida. It is not shown here, and above the zona pellucida another layer is present that is called as a corona radiata. So two layers are present surrounding this secondary oocyte. Inner layer it is called as a zona pellucida which is a non-cellular, and outer layer it is called as a corona radiata. So this is the structure of the Graafian follicle which is formed during the developmental stages of the ovarian follicles, mature ovarian follicle. So related to that there is one question which is asked in 2016. Identify the correct statement on inhibin. Inhibin hormone related correct statement कोणता आहे ते ओळखायचं आहे. It is produced by granulose cells in ovary and inhibits the secretion of FSH. It is produced by granulose cells in ovary and inhibits the secretion of LH. It produced by nurse cells in testes and inhibits the secretion of LH, and it inhibits the secretion of LH, FSH and prolactin. So four statements are given. Out of that, which is the correct statement related to inhibin that we have to identify. As we know, the inhibin hormone is secreted by ovary only. So here this option which is given by nurse cells of the testis, it is not secreted in male body, so it is going to be cancelled. Now the inhibin is playing important role for the inhibition of the FSH secretion, and therefore the first option here, it is produced by the ovary and it inhibits the secretion of FSH. It is the correct answer of this statement. This is wrong because it is secreted by in ovary, but it is not inhibiting the secretion of LH because LH is secreted in the ovary. So this is wrong, and this is also wrong because LH is secreted, FSH is inhibited, and prolactin has no role due to the inhibin. So this is the correct answer, first statement related to the inhibin. So this is first question. Now second question here, which is asked in 2014 and 1995. The main function of mammalian corpus luteum is to produce. Mammalian corpus luteum is producing which hormone? Here 4 options are given. Estrogen only, progesterone, human chorionic gonadotropin and relaxin only. As just we have seen, corpus luteum is secreting progesterone hormone, and therefore the option B is the correct answer of this question. Okay, so this is all about this ovary and ovarian follicle. Now the next point related to this reproductive cycle, female reproductive cycle, menstrual cycle, female reproductive cycle, or it is called as ovarian cycle. We have to see the introduction of this cycle. This menstrual cycle, it is observing in different animals along with the human, that is in monkeys and in apes. So apes and monkeys are very closely related to the human being. So these monkeys, apes and human beings are showing this presence of this menstrual cycle, and in this menstrual cycle there is cyclic change taking place in the ovary and the uterus, and these changes are taking place under the influence of gonadotropins and ovarian hormones respectively. Means during menstrual cycle what happens, you see, there are some developmental changes taking place in the ovary, and there are some developmental changes taking place in the uterus. Ovarian changes are taking place due to the action of gonadotropins, which are secreted by pituitary gland present in the body. Pituitary gland secreting gonadotropins, they are acting on the ovary, and ovarian changes are taking place. And in ovary some hormones are secreted, and those hormones are responsible for changes in the uterus. Means uterine changes are occurring due to the ovarian hormones, and ovarian changes are taking place due to the uterine hormones. So here the 3 parts are related to this menstrual cycle, that is pituitary gland, ovary and uterus. Pituitary gland hormones are acted on ovary, then ovary are secreting some hormones, changes in ovary takes place, and due to the action of ovarian hormones, changes in uterus takes place. So all these different events, cyclic events, we are going to study in this point. So these changes takes place under these hormones. Now the hormones which are affecting this menstrual cycle are FSH, LH, estrogen and progesterone. 4 hormones are there. FSH and LH, these hormones are secreted by pituitary gland, and estrogen and progesterone are secreted by ovary. So these are the pituitary hormones, and or we can call it as a gonadotropic hormones, and these are ovarian hormones which are influencing the different developmental changes which are occurring during this menstrual cycle. Okay. Now this menstrual cycle is showing different points here. This menstrual cycle starts at the time of puberty. At the time of puberty, different developmental changes, that is secondary sexual character development, takes place in the female body. Along with that, starting of menstrual cycle is also taking place with this puberty, and it is repeated every month, and it is about showing 28 days cycle. Means this menstrual cycle is showing 28 days, and these are again repeated after every 28 days. The cyclic changes are repeatedly taking place after every 28 days, and therefore these are different cyclic events which are present in this menstrual cycle that we have to study. So here, starting of this cycle, it is called as a menarche, and stopping of this cycle is called as a menopause. There are 2 events when the menstrual cycle is getting to be started. It is called as a menarche. The starting of this cycle takes place at the age 12, 13, 14. So these are the 12 to 14 years of age. The females are showing the starting of this menstrual cycle, that is called as a menarche, and after the completion of age 45, above 45 up to 55, the menstrual cycle is going to be stopped. So stopping of menstrual cycle, it is called as a menopause. So these are the two classic basic events which are occurring related to this menstrual cycle. Now these cyclic events during this menstrual cycle, that are divided into different 4 phases. Which are those phases that we have to study? These are the 4 phases. First is the menstrual phase, which is present in between 1st to 4th day of the menstrual cycle. Second, follicular or proliferative phase, which is present in between 5th to 13th day of the menstrual cycle. Here, follicular phase is taking place in the ovary, and proliferative phase is taking place in the uterus. So during this menstrual cycle or during this menstrual phases, simultaneous changes are taking place in the ovary as well as in the uterus. So here follicular phase is present in ovary and proliferative phase is present in the uterus, and it is taking place between 5th to 13th day. Then third is the ovulatory phase. It is present in the ovary, which is only one day, that is the 14th day of the cycle. And the last phase here is the secretory or the luteal phase, which is occurring in between 15th to 28th day. Out of this, the secretory phase, it is occurring in the ovary, and luteal phase, secretory phase, it is acting in the uterus, and luteal phase, it is acting in the ovary. So these are the different developmental changes or different developmental phases occurring in the menstrual cycle, and the menstrual cycle is start from 1st day to 28th day. After 28th day, 1st day is going to be repeated, again 1st to 28 days completed. So in this way, this menstrual cycle is showing these 4 phases. The details of these phases that we are going to study in the next lecture. So we have to stop here. You know about the phases and the days responsible for that menstrual cycle. Okay, thank you.